Hi everyone, my name's Shannon O'Connell, and the research that I looked at for this project is work-life balance and how it affects productivity. My research question was, does productivity in the workplace improve when an employee feels they have a solid balance in their life between the work they do for a living and their home or personal life? When looking at the research, you really needed to define what work-life balance means because the definition can be all over the board, especially with the research that's out there. There's many different definitions, and balance does not always mean equal. Work-life balance was often equated as having absence of conflict between the two. That was a common definition in the research that I looked at. Casper mentions that balance exists when role effectiveness and role satisfaction are consistent with life priorities. Thus, balance does not require equality across work and family domains, which goes back to the concept of balance doesn't always mean equal. Rife and Hall said that work-life balance signifies the extent to which an employee experiences feeling fulfilled and having his or her needs met in both work and non-work facets of life. It's also important to define productivity because that can have a wide range of definitions as well. And Donahoe says how effectively employees can get work completed that helps the company or organization reach its goals. And Sarman says the ratio between a measure of output and a measure of input from the employee. When measuring productivity, there were three things found to be extremely important, and that was objectivity, which measures should be objective with the rating of the employees, the availability, which is the measure need to be available to the individual, comparability, which is measurements tasks should be the same for all workers and their time allowed. And then quality and controllability, employees should have input on their own effort levels and have sufficient influence on that outcome. The research method that was used for this project was quasi-experimental research. Quasi comes from the term meaning almost or most. It utilizes other design features to account for the lack of random assignment to the study, the impact of a cause and effect, and it has the impact of a cause and effect relationship. And three things that are important in quasi-experimental research are control, manipulation, and measurement of the information. Looking at the review of the research in the literature, all the research studies that I looked at supported the concept that having a balance in work and life resulted in increased productivity. The research reviewed indicated decreased absenteeism and increase in job performance overall. There's extensive research on the topic and many, many studies that can be looked at, and in my opinion, it warrants more review on my part. To follow up from the research that I had done, or I had looked at from the literature review, I conducted a survey of my own with individuals that I either work with or just our family or my husband works with, or just individuals that I knew in general. I put it out there. Working from home, it wasn't easy to get a ton of results, but the questions that I put in the survey, just to get a feel for how people felt regarding work-life balance and how they felt their productivity was affected by that. The questions that I asked were, I asked their age, what best described their occupation to get a good feel for the occupations across the board that we were looking at, whether they were married and had dependents living with them, how long they had been in their current job, and how many hours they worked per week. I asked whether their job, salary, and family was most significant to their happiness. I asked when they felt balance in their life. Do they feel more productive at work? How happy are they with their benefits that they're given at their current employer? Are they satisfied with their current work? And then I gave them the opportunity to write in what improvements could be made to help their work-life balance. My survey results were as follows. I had 25 respondents that completed the survey 100%. And the overall results showed that the majority of them felt that a balance at work and home helped them to be more productive at work. The written results mentioned that the majority would like more time at home. And I thought it was interesting that they felt the policies that were in place at work didn't necessarily reflect how they felt about their personal responsibilities. In other words, they didn't necessarily feel that management was supporting them in their efforts to take care of responsibilities at home, even though the policies may have been in place. That was mentioned more than once and worth noting. The conclusion that I came up with was that the research has shown already that when individuals have a balance with work and life, they feel more productive. The scripture that has stuck with me through this entire project is from Philippians 4:8. And it says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." I thought that was just a great quote, and something that really, when you're looking at work, if you can just live by that, I think everyone can find success. The survey results that I found were consistent with the research that I reviewed, and that has already been completed and looked over. And like I said, I do feel that it warrants more study. And then finally, these are some of the references that I used for my PowerPoint presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.